Cheap Not Broke fam, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're happy, healthy, doing well. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, I appreciate you. If it's your next time, or if it's your fifth time, I appreciate you too. If you haven't, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate that. That helps the channel grow. That helps more people see what we're talking about, what we got going on at Cheap Not Broke. Happy Monday to you. I hope you're doing well. And if you didn't know, today's topic of the show is inflation making Americans. What is going on with this inflation stuff? You hear about this inflation stuff all the time. Every time you turn on the news, you hear about inflation. What the hell is inflation? Are they blowing up balloons? They blowing up bicycle tires? What is inflation all about? That's what we're trying to find out, and that's what's going on here today. But if you don't know about it, well, inflation has been going on since the beginning of time. But I think the big thing about it is inflation when it spikes up, because stuff is going up every single day. Things go up, things go down. So we were going to go here. So I wanted to come on here today and talk about what are some of the benefits of, because there are a couple of benefits to inflation. There are a heck of a lot of downsides to inflation. Either way, which way it goes, but it's still inflation. You still got to deal with it. And a lot of times, people get upset about things going up. But the question is, are you charging more for your time and more for what you're doing? But that's for another day. But the thing about it is, this whole inflation thing is that the government gets involved. They got the Federal Reserve. They get all these people involved. So I said, man, let's go ahead and dig into it. What the heck is inflation? So we had to go find a real definition of what inflation really is. So let's check that out real quick. What causes inflation? What causes inflation? This is the Harvard Business Review. What causes inflation? December 2022. Still pretty recent. So what is this? Inflation is defined as a rise in price across the economy, and in 2022, it has emerged one of the biggest threats to global prosperity. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's true, because these people benefit from charging you more money. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them have you thinking, oh, well, charging more money, inflation's killing everybody. No, it's not. Somebody's always winning on the back end, just like during a recession. Somebody's always winning. Somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. I don't care if you're playing a game, which life is a game, all this crap is a game. Somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. When prices rise unexpectedly, money does not go as far as it used to. That's true, which can trigger demands and rises, for which means cause more inflation. Prices rise really quick and then basically functioning kind of like the pandemic. And well, not toilet paper. The price of toilet paper didn't go up, but every now and then the price of gas will spike. It'll go up really, really crazy, and they do it during the summertime. So that's inflation. But in some other countries, like in Venezuela, shoot, a piece of cheese is like $99. You're not gonna get no cheese on your burger in Venezuela. You're only gonna get cheese on your burger in your sleep, because inflation is crazy. A bottle of water is like, $30. It's really, really crazy over there. A lot of people are leaving the country and going to other places because inflation is so high in Venezuela. So, but in America, things are going on the same way. Inflation is always happening out here too, but they try to make us act like and make us feel like it's not really going on, and it's not something that we should be concerned about. But which it really is. It is something that you can be concerned about, because you got to pay more money, and your dollar is not making as much as it once was before. And they ask, like, who is inflation good for? Inflation is good for businesses, because they can charge more money and make more money. Now, on the flip side of that, sometimes those businesses, they are spending less money. I mean, sometimes those businesses, they're costing them more money at the same time. So the flip side, people are like, well, why is inflation bad or good? Well, for the business, for example, they can raise their prices, but on the flip side, they might be spending more. For like me, well, my business, I don't know. My company's online. So I have a financial literacy company, Stress Money Less. If you haven't heard, please check it out. Stress Money Less. So that's my company. And inflation would be like my internet bill going from $99 to like $350. That would really put me in a bind. I'm like, dang, I can't pay that. So that would really, I couldn't run my business. I'm not paying $350 a month. I got to go to the library. I got to go somewhere else to run my business. So inflation could be good for you if you're a business, if you can keep the profit. But if not, shoot, you got to pay out more money, just like everybody else. Inflation is good if your company raises their prices and you get a pay raise. But if the company eventually, if they got to go up on, whatever you guys are selling, let's say you guys are selling tires, and the price of rubber go up. Price of rubber go up, you got to pay more money for that, and then you're back in the hole. So that's all how that works. Inflation can benefit you. It depends if you can keep the money or not. It depends if you can keep the money or not. But what I wanted to know was, I said, all right, let's really dive into inflation. What's something that people, over time, how you got to really look at inflation over time. So I said, let's take a look at this here. How much has a Big Mac cost over time? That's a real question. I said, if inflation, let's look at something everybody know. How much has a Big Mac cost over time? Where the heck is that? Bam, right here. Big Mac. So, Big Mac, inflation. Big Mac came out, when the Big Mac came out? Big Mac came out, what, 1960, something like that? Yeah, 1960. That's when the Big Mac came out. In 1960, Big Mac, 45 cents. Now, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, you already know how much. I don't know if you eat McDonald's or not, but I'm using an example because everybody knows what McDonald's is. 45 cents for a burger. The taxes on a Big Mac now is like 93 cents a dollar. So it's no way in hell you're getting 45 cents no burger. Where you getting a burger for 45 cents? Anyway, most people are born today wouldn't even believe a hamburger was 45 cents at one point in time. A lot of people are not going to believe that. Like, what the hell? 45 cents for a hamburger? Come on now. So 65 cents. It goes from 45 cents to 65 cents. So that's like 20 cents. That didn't go up too bad. That's not too bad at all. They went up a little bit. I'm like, all right, we can deal with that. 65 cents. That is not bad at all. That's worth the money. I could do that. So inflation over 10 years, inflation went up, 20 cents? So what? I don't know what the percentage on that is, but that's not that bad. We can live with that. So then after that, it goes from the 1980s, it goes up to $1.60. Now, wait a minute. 65 cents to $1.60, $1.20 would be like double that. So that's up like 100%. That is a lot of extra money to be up charging people for the Big Mac. But however, by this time, from the 70s to the 80s, I'm pretty sure they were spending a whole lot of money on marketing. You had like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Michael Jordan. You had all these athletes that were promoting McDonald's because for this, during the 60s and in the 70s, they were on their own for promotion. But by the time the 80s came around, you had all these celebrities and all these famous people who can help you promote your product. Therefore, it's more visible. You can charge more money for it. It's on TV. It's in the NBA. Got Michael Jordan. You have Michael Jackson. I know him and Michael Jordan. I think they did a McDonald's commercial together. I'm not for sure. But I know McDonald's got a lot of notoriety with celebrities in the 80s. So that's how you can go from, 65 cents, double it, to the 1980s, 160 or 10.59 for the Big Mac value meal. Whatever the case is, I'm pretty sure back in 1960, that 45 cent meal, it was probably $1 for everything, burger, fry, and everything. But 1980, $1.60. So that's well over 100% markup. I'm not for sure. I got to do the math. But you're going from, look at here, you're going from 160 to what? 245. Damn, that's a huge climb. That's a huge climb in burger. But like I said, McDonald's, they can do that. This is inflation. If you look at everything on God's green earth, it has gone up in cost. Now, some things come down in cost, but it's not often that they do that. 245, right? 160. So that's what up. That's up about what? A little, almost $1, but not quite. $4.59 for the Big Mac extra value meal. So they got bigger. They charging more money. That's the whole thing. And 2000s, you went from 245. Looks like it decreased to 239. So from the 2000s, from the 90s to the 2000s, price went down. So that's a little bit of deflation. Why is that? I don't know. I didn't get into that. According to Menu, Big Mac cost $2.39 in 2002. That doesn't necessarily mean it was cheaper than in 1998. Though the other figure was an average price for multiple cities, and it's not clear which city. Okay, so they're taking the average of these things. It's not exactly that price. They're taking the average to see what is this, what is that. So the average price of a Big Mac in 2000, this is inflation now, $2.39. Now, from 2000s to what? To 2000 to 2010s, $4.19. And that's about what you're paying for a Big Mac right now. About $4, about $5. That's what you're paying for a Big Mac. So you went from what? $2.39. That's up $2, man. That's up $2 to $4.19. But here's the thing: people still paying for it. So it don't matter. That's why inflation worked, because people still pay for stuff. Now, you saw Delta Airlines, they had to change their mileage program because people got pissed off about that. They were like, y'all not about to treat us like no Spirit. What you doing? So people got pissed off about that. So Delta had to change the rules. But they didn't. They didn't have to get back to it. They did not have to do that. So, hey, Big Mac, McDonald's is winning. McDonald's is raising their prices. They've changed the way the place looks. They've added stuff to their menu. They have changed the way they do it. So what? Where are we going from? 2010s, 419, and into the 2020s, 495. So I think you're gonna pay about $5 for a Big Mac, and the patties are real small. It's not that big. Big Mac is not big as what it used to be. So there you have it. Big Mac. Big Mac. The cost of a Big Mac has severely gone up, and people really want that. But really quick, since we got the Big Mac on the brain, check this out. I got a really quick, I got some trivia for you. Tell me what you think about this here. Hold up. Let me get my stuff right. Oh man, gotta get my stuff together. Look like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, but that's cool.
Give it up for yourselves coming in here tonight. I thought we were in the theater, not the damn break room. I was confused. I said, Tony, we in the Inglewood Theater tonight. I said, oh shit, the theater door was locked. We are in here with everybody else at work. I thought this was the whole crew that work here. I thought y'all having an office party. I don't know what the fuck. I thought they having an office party. The theater was closed. No, this is the wrong night.
Comedy Stylings, if you haven't checked out my comedy, man, please come out to a comedy show. Please come enjoy. I just had a show at First Day of Meat Church this past weekend. Really good crowd. If you haven't, go to cheapnotbroke.com. Go check out my comedy special. You will enjoy it. You will laugh your ass off. It's called Who is Malcolm? I'm talking about all who is Malcolm, what Malcolm does, all these, just everything about my life. So if you get a chance, please go to www.cheapnotbroke.com and check out Who is Malcolm, my comedy special. Back to inflation. So that was the cost of the Big Mac. But the question is, did they have to go up on the cost? Yeah, because everything go up, man. I know people get upset about inflation, but they also said if things got cheaper, I was reading about deflation. If things got cheaper, would people still pay? Probably not, because once you get, if you're used to paying, I don't know, if your favorite wine is $50 and it drops down to 30, they can't raise the price back up. It's going to be very hard unless you just love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. A lot of times they don't go down in price because people start devaluing things when things go down in price. So that's what that's all about. That's why people do not want to drop the price on anything, because then you're going to want to pay less, and that's not what you really want to do. So, but speaking of Big Macs, I also found out how much was the average cost of gas, because gas is a big kicker. Everybody's got to pay for gas. You got to pay for gas. I got to pay for gas. Unless you're in a city that has just public transportation, we had to. You got to pay for some gas. So how much is the average price of gas throughout U.S. history? I wanted to know. Let's take a look. Gas prices through U.S. history. So, man, here we go. We're here on the gas prices right now. And, wow. 2021. Oh, that's 1929. 1929, gas was 21 cents. Man, you can probably, if gas was 21 cents right now, man, what would people... First off, I'd be living a whole nother life, because it probably cost me what, $4-5 to fill up my tank. I don't know. Yeah, it probably cost $4-5 to fill up a tank. I would drive a lot more. I would definitely drive a lot more, but especially sitting here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, you got to sit out here in the traffic. You're just burning gas. A lot of gas you just burn sitting in traffic, not going anywhere. So I had to make sure I learned that, hey, when you got to go somewhere, you got to go between, during after rush hour or in the morning, because other than that, you're going to sit in traffic. You can burn a lot of gas. Now, and let's skip down to a little bit. 1934, gas was 19 cents. So gas decreased. So that was some deflation. So gas hovered around 19 cents until, where do we go? All right. So gas was always pretty cheap. If you look at this, gas was 31 cents, 1960. So gas was always penny. Gas is below 50 cents from what? 1921 to 1970. Dang, that's over 50 years. 70 minus 20 is 50. So that's 36 cents. So gas is still under 50 cents. Man, so what happened? What happened? When did gas go up? 1980, gas got up to over $1. So until 19, okay, now this is a big jump in gas. 1973 to 1974, the 73 oil crisis. So that's what. Okay, look here, we got our notes now. So here we go. Let's look at the notes. I forgot all about these. World War One begins. Gas is 19 cents. Nothing happens. Still goes up. Pearl Harbor, 1941. Gas is still the same. Now we have war nowadays. Gas is going up a ton. You're gonna have to pay a lot of money. A big difference in gas if gas goes in there. If you get gas now. Gasoline refining rationing begins. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. World War III ends. Gas is still 21 cents. Korea War. But at the point, we don't have to read all that good stuff. But the point it is, until the 70s, gas was damn cheap. Gas didn't get over 50 cents until 1974. And from 39 cents, 49 cents, 50 cents, that's up 20 cents. So this oil crisis, whatever much happened, I'm not sure which, it's not giving the details on it. But that oil crisis, damn sure, probably wasn't as significant as all those wars up there. Korean War, World War II, Vietnam, all that good stuff. I know Vietnam War ends, okay. But gas goes down to 57 cents. So gas is still straight. It's still on the climb, but you have another big gap. The Iranian war begins. Now, we get a lot of gas from over there, and Soviet-Afghan war begins. So that makes sense because they produce a lot of gas, and that's where we get it. Iraq war begins, 1980. Now gas gets to be $1.19. So this is when we're on a steady climb. But look, in the 1980s, oil glut begins. So, gas drops back down. So as you see, inflation, it goes up and down. Up and down. It goes up and down, but as over time it's steady climbing because 1920 we started off at 21 cents, and now here we go. Iraq invades Kuwait, Persian Gulf. Damn, now we get back down to $1. Not a problem. But let's get down to the nitty gritty right here. 2000 gas is $1.51 because I remember I was driving around. No, was I driving in 2000? No, I didn't drive. I wasn't old enough to drive in 2000. 146. Cool. All right. But here's when gas starts getting really crazy. You go for $1.36, $1.59, $1.88, $2.30, $2.80, and here. When Obama got in office, the Great Recession begins. When Obama got in office, that's when gas got really, really crazy. I don't know if you were on there that one summer, but when Obama got in office, gas got stupid high. And this is when gas took off, and it hasn't been the same since. Gas went from 280 to 327, and we've barely got back down. At least not out in California. We're not back down there. So as you see, over time, the gas prices have constantly gone up, and now we're at 326. That's not true because here in California, we're at like $5. So gas is high as hell. Don't let these people lie to you. Gas is out here. You got to buy the gas. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about gas. You can complain about it all you want. You can say whatever you want, cry about all this other good stuff. But you got to go out there and buy the gas. And these are the prices. This is how much gas costs. Let's go back. Look. Oh, shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. I appreciate you. Appreciate you joining in. We're talking about cost of gas. Cost of gas in 1929 was 21 cents. And now in 2020, this runs up to 2022, it is now, what, $4.90. That's damn ridiculous. But it's not coming back down. That's not coming back down. But what is the cost of gas? I see, that's what makes me think about this whole electricity thing. It's going to be cheap right now too, but in 50 years, electricity is going to go up. They're going to charge you a lot of money for these electric charges. So it's not like it's going to get any better. It's not like they're going to change anything. So I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on these electric cars. I think they're going to charge you more money, and I think they're going to do other stuff to try to charge you. But one thing I did was I was curious about this stuff. I said, let me get out here on the streets and ask some people what's really going on, because there's gas, there's food, there's all this different stuff. So I said, let me ask some people what's really going on. So you know what? I got out on the streets and I did some street work and I went to holler at some people. So let's check it out. This is Malcolm Hall here from Cheap Not Broke, and I am live on the streets to find out what is causing inflation. You've been watching the news. They've been telling you it's interest rate, it's home loans, it's car loans, it's this, it's that, it's the Federal Reserve. But really, what's causing interest rates? I want to find out from the people what is making them spend so much money, because they're making me spend a lot of money too. So we're going to figure this thing out together. Shall we? Let's go. I'm out here with Dwight the Barber outside our open mic. We out here doing comedy every Thursday. But I want to know, Dwight, What have you noticed is causing inflation? What's causing you more money in 2023?
Well, first, my rent went up. Okay, I'm living in Inglewood. There's no rent control. My landlords, they go up every year, man. Every year they're going up. They went up $50 this year, so that started off bad. Okay, then we got food, man. Inflation and food, man, is hand in hand, man. I go to the grocery store. I'm a single guy, man. I go there and spend $100. I don't even get a half a bag. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. So, and then now we talk about gas, man. I don't even go to the gas station. I just look and see what the news say in the morning.
So what you do?
The news tell you, man.
So you don't even look at the numbers on the gas line no more. You just pull up, get it, and go.
Yeah, man. Why, man? I mean, it's $7 damn near now, man. And I hate to say it, Trump said if Biden keep up with this, it's gonna go up to $10.
So you still out here at Barbershop Comedy talking about inflation. What is your name, good sir?
Tony Pleasant.
Tony Pleasant. What has been causing inflation for you? What is one thing that's gone up in 2023 for you?
Well, for me, car insurance and gas, stuff like that.
Car insurance, gas. Now, how much has your car insurance like double or gone up a little bit?
Practically double.
Double. And then, car insurance, you don't get any money back. Speeding tickets, yeah, man, speeding tickets. I know you drive safe. You don't have no accidents like that. What about the cost of food? You feel like food costing you more money?
Yes, it is.
Now, what do you think it's because of politics? Or you think it's because people just getting greedy and charging more money? What you think's causing all this?
I don't know, but I would like for it to go down.
Your life will go down. Hey, you and me both, man. I appreciate you talking to me about inflation, man. Cheap, not broke. Still at Barbershop Comedy, asking about inflation. I'm with funny comedian DeHerm. What have you noticed about inflation in 2023?
Oh, okay. The biggest thing to me is the housing market. Honestly, it don't really affect me per se. So the only thing I would say is gas. So gas, and that's a California thing to say, but gas is crazy though. But what we gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
What we gonna do? What we gonna do? That's the question. What we gonna do? So I went out. I had to ask people, man, because like I said, you hear all this stuff on the news, but I want to know what the people were talking about, and it's very clear that gas is a problem for people. A lot of people got to pay for gas, and the reason why gas sucks so much is because gas goes up and down, up and down. It doesn't. When it's down, it's cool, but when it's up, it's like, dang, that $30 I had last week is not doing the same for me. I mean, you try to I try to put like $40 in the car. Sometimes it'll fill it up. I mean, well, I used to. Not now. It rarely fills my car up now. So man, it sucks. It sucks. Gas, food, car insurance. But I would say the number one thing for me that has gone up far as inflation, I wouldn't say is gas. I would say the service fees. Because a lot of places you go now, they hit you with these service fees. You got to pay all this extra stuff. Like when you go out and do stuff, you got the service fee, 3%, 4%, all this other crap. That's what's been a thing for me. So I don't know. If you're on the live right now, what has been causing you pain for inflation? What's been costing you a lot more money? Because sometimes now it depends. If it's something you want to do, you're gonna pay for like flights, traveling, whatever. That's leisure stuff. But if they go up on that, well, you're gonna pay it because that's what you want to do. But the stuff you gotta pay for, the food, the gas, grocery, electric, all that stuff. What you gotta pay for that? Is that going up on you? Is you feel like you're struggling? I know I have. That's why I did that program. I did my live last week about the LA rent program because people got to pay their rent. So and the city will help you pay it. But check this out. I got this other real drop. This really quick thing. Oh man, wait a minute. Oh, I got this video that was talking about inflation and breaking down the whole thing. CNBC's real dope video. Let me pull it up real quick. It's where is it at? I always have trouble sliding through my damn videos. Here we go. Right here. Bam.
iPhone 15 Pro. Sean.
Please excuse me.
This one, the one with titanium? Switch to Verizon. You can trade in any iPhone and get the new iPhone 15 Pro on them.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition
I
for a
really
new
hate
iPhone
this.
15
I
Pro
this
on us,
up
only
every
on Verizon.
time to show y'all.
Everything is more expensive. Prices overall are about 13% higher than they were in April 2021, with the cost of groceries rising by nearly 20% over that time, and the cost of gas up 22%. It's even expensive to stay home. For example, the cost of electricity has surged 21%.
Reducing inflation.
And that's all stuff you got to do. Gas, electricity, all this stuff you got to do it. You don't have a choice not to do this stuff. Gas, electricity, like gas is up 20%. I don't know what 22% equals at the pump, but damn. And it's going to keep going up. It's not going to come down. So what question is, what do you do about it? How do you beat inflation? Well, one thing you can do, because inflation goes up a couple percent, if you can get your high yield savings account. If you're saving your money in a regular savings account, it's probably paying like 0.00 something percent. You can go get a high yield savings account that pays you like 3%. That'll give you some more money. So you're kind of getting ahead of inflation, because inflation is going up by 1.5. You're getting paid 3%. That makes sense. You're still making 1.5% more than what's the actual inflation rate, and you're still out here winning. The thing about those things are you can't get the money. So if you put in the CD, high yield interest rate, they usually take that money and lock it up for, 6 months to a year, and you got to pay penalties to get it out. So it has to be some money that you can't, that you don't need. However, a lot of people that are struggling with inflation don't have discretionary income. So what do those people do? Well, I always tell people this. The internet is an amazing time. There's a lot of stuff you can do online to make some money. That's what I do. That's what I leverage. I used to go out and drive Uber. I don't do that anymore because I'm free on a Saturday night. Let me go drive to Uber, make some extra cash. I stopped doing it because I'm like, I can make more money online. If I can reach thousands of people online at one time. And when you're driving for Uber, you can only pick up one person at a time. And then Uber was trying to hustle you. They have you going on these trips. They're not paying you all this money. So I thought that was a joke. So I said, you know what? Fuck this Uber skip. Excuse me, French. I said, fuck this Uber stuff because I didn't like it. I don't know how much I'm going to get paid. And then they keep taking you further and further out. So one night I was driving. I'm out here in LA. And I went to this place called Diamond Bar. Never heard of Diamond Bar. It was like maybe 40, 50 miles away from LA. And then here's the thing. It was like 11:30. I picked the guy about 11:30, dropped him off about 12:30. It took a little minute to get out there. But here's the thing. Who's coming from Diamond Bar 11, almost 1 o'clock in the morning back to LA? Nobody. So you're driving back home for free, because if you do this in city, you pick up somebody, then somebody needs to go back in city, and then somebody needs to go back out. So you're picking up people going back and forth. But when you go out really far, you don't pick anybody up on the way back, and you don't make any money. So it has to be worth your time. And by that time you're driving back that late, 1 o'clock in the morning, you're tired. You're like, I'm done with it. I don't want to do it anymore. So I thought Uber, Lyft, all that stuff. I'm like, this is a bad deal. I'm not doing it. Shout out to anybody who does it. Hopefully it's working for you. But I thought it was a bad deal. I really did. I'm like, man, this is not working out. I'm not getting what I need out of the deal. So best way to beat inflation, you got to make more money. I mean, the only thing you can do is make more money, or find a way to leverage the money you got. So either make money from the money you have, or you got to make more money. Easier said than done. Trust me, it's not the easiest thing to do. But there's I see a lot of good stuff out there. You got to figure out what you like doing, what makes you happy. I'm a comedian, but it doesn't pay the bills. Don't get it. Trust me, it doesn't pay the bills. Still an accountant, that pays the bills. So I got to do what I got to do. Of course, inflation hits me too. So I'm like, I got to go find another job. Because one thing about it is you don't want to feel like you're doing the same thing and you're doing it really well and making less money. That sucks. That's when you kind of feel like, I need to go somewhere else. That's a pain in the ass. So that whole thing about inflation and trying to get ahead of it is really hard. It's really difficult because you got to figure out a way to make some more money somehow, some way. And, like the whole part-time job thing, I'm not a fan of it anymore. I used to be like, get a second job. Nah, you need to leverage your money on the internet. There's a lot of stuff you can do. There's Upwork. I hire people on Upwork upon occasion. I got to get people to do some work for me. I have my editor is on Upwork. It's called www.upwork.com. If you need somebody to my editor comes off of there. I got a virtual assistant off of there, and they only charge me like $8 an hour. Yeah, now are they from America? No. However, I pay people and I pay them on time and I tip them a little extra, but I find help that I can afford, and that's the help that I can afford. And they do a great job because they have a ton of clients. So you're like, you're not paying them that much. They have companies. So it's not like just them doing all this work. They couldn't do all the work by themselves anyway. So they have a company and all this other stuff. So if you need somebody to get you some help, if you need help doing some stuff, check out Upwork. And since we got the Big Mac, so let me see if my stuff is working. Well, that was supposed to happen before I did the article. Supposed to drop the trivia in and like, okay, how much was a Big Mac in 1960? But yeah, Big Mac was 60 cents back then, but didn't work out the first video, whatever. That's how it goes. But man, inflation is real. Inflation is a real thing. The thing about inflation is you got to inflate too. You got to charge more money. You can't charge the same amount of money that you did yesterday. Today's price is not tomorrow's price. And yesterday's price is not today's price. The price is always going up, and you got to go up on your price too. Just like UPS and all these actor strikes, everybody's going up on their price. They're like, look, we need more money. You got to charge. We got to charge for more money. And that's what people are doing, going up on their price. Don't feel bad for ever going up on your price. You know how much it took you to get your skill. You had to put in your 10,000 hours. You had to buy resources. You had to get to where you had to go. All these things that it took to learn your skill set, you got to charge people. And if people don't want to pay it, you got to go find some people who can pay it. Get your money's worth. Get your money's worth and make sure you're worth the money. Well, of course you're worth the money, but make sure they're paying you your worth. That's what I meant to say. Make sure people are paying you your worth, because you'll be out here on some inflation shit. Like, damn it, I can't afford to do anything. You got to go somewhere else. If the company's not paying, it's all good. We're in a situation now. You can look for a job with a job. Put your application out there, whatever the case, make them phone calls and get up out of there. Get your money. Don't let inflation beat you down. Don't let these people out here not paying you your money. Cheap Not Broke. This has been Malcolm. I appreciate everybody. Once again, you can go over to Cheap Not Broke. Check out the merch. Check out everything we got. Got some good stuff over there. I'm getting ready to get some beanies to keep your head cold, keep your head warm. So look out for those. I got that stuff coming. Got some more comedy. Got some putting up some comedy clips this week. If you haven't, go check out my special, www.cheapnotbroke.com. I appreciate that. And on Thursday's live is what is Thursday's live? We're discussing hair. Are women getting overcharged for hair? Black women in particular, because they pay a lot of money to get their hair done. So we're discussing women. So we're hoping to have a lot of women on live. It's going to be a debate. So this is going to be a debate show. It's not going to just be me. I have a hairdresser coming on. We're going to talk about the truth and the lies about when it comes to getting your hair done. So if you are a lady, if you have ladies watching, please tune in. If you're a fella, bring yourself, because we're going to break all this stuff down, because, hey, people paying a lot of money to get their hair done. So, and everybody your appearance is important. You got to spend that money to look good. Inflation, it doesn't matter how much it costs. You got to pay it. You don't want to be out here looking crazy. So that's what we're going to be getting into on Thursday. So tune in to the debate show. It's going to be a dope show. We're going to have a lot of fun. And till then, check out the Cheap Champ podcast. I just dropped a new episode today with Ramona Stevens. Great. We're talking about be excited about your life. That's her motto. She's super hilarious comedian. I just did a show with her. She just put me on Saturday. I just did a show with her Saturday. So please check out that episode. We got 6 episodes left of the Cheap Champ podcast. So check that out. Tune in. If you got questions about the money, drop a DM. Hit me up on here. Hit me up on Cheap Not Broke on Instagram. You can find me on all that stuff. Yep, Cheap Not Broke, rolling down the bottom. And I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. And we will be back on Thursday for the live, because we're going to get into it and talk about all this other stuff. Appreciate y'all. Take care.